Today we're going to go over the long overdue update to my Kobe top 10 cards in my PC. This is going to be all Kobe Bryant, but the cards in my collection of him have changed significantly since the last time we talked about this, so let's get right into it. Welcome to the most passionate content for card collectors on YouTube and possibly the whole entire internet. As usual, I am your host, Jake Roy, 90s b-ball cards here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, a little bit of Twitter, slacked off on TikTok again, but that'll change very soon. Stay tuned there. There's more to come. And you know the deal on Threads. So today, yes, we're talking about the top 10 cards in my PC of Kobe Bryant, the late great Kobe. And this is something that was actually a request from a viewer, and it's something that I think it's been about 3 years since the last time I talked about my portion of Kobe cards in my PC. So I think it's long overdue that we have an update. There is a lot that has changed in Kobe cards in that time period, and there's a lot that has changed in my collection. So it's going to be exciting to share this with you and hear your thoughts. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, here we go with the top 10 cards in my PC of Kobe Bryant. We're starting here at number 10. We've got the 97-98 Skybox EX 2001. This is a base card in a PSA 8. Just a gorgeous card. I mean, it's unbelievable that this is a base card, honestly. You just don't see base cards like this at this point in time. And honestly, you really didn't see it again after this. You saw some stuff that had glimmers of the beauty that this is, but there's a lot going on here for a base card. And because of that, condition is an issue. There's a lot of edges and corners and stuff on the player and the hollow foil that can get dinged and nicked. Centering can be an issue. You can get some foil loss on the surface of the card. You can see there's like a little bit of gold that's kind of coming off underneath where it says his name. So there's a lot of stuff that can ding these things on condition, and that's why having this in a PSA 8 actually does make it worth a tiny bit more than a base card. So this one comes in right around $30 in a PSA 8, whereas a raw copy, last I checked, I think you're looking at $10 to $20. So it's not a significant tick up, but you can see once you start getting into 9s and 10s, these things fly. So really beautiful card. Really happy to have I've had multiple copies of this card in my collection, this is this is the most valuable of those various copies. So that one's at number 10. Number 9, one of my favorites, 96-97 Upper Deck, or UD3, or UD Cubed, as I've recently learned it's supposed to be called. But anyway, this is the Kobe Bryant rookie card. Interestingly enough, there are 2 rookie cards of Kobe Bryant in this set, but this is the Hardwood Prospects, which is where they put all of the rookies. So the other rookie card of him in this set is kind of considered an XRC of sorts. You can see in the values that this one goes for more unless they're both graded, and then grading can obviously overrun that, but this is the true rookie, as a lot of purists like to say. So anyway, this one in a PSA 8. This is one that I had had in my collection for a long time. I sent it off for grading, I think sometime during the pandemic. Was hoping it would get a 9, but clearly I missed something on condition. But this has a lot of debossing to make that wood grain look. Obviously got the hollow foil. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. Fairly thick cards. You got some hollow foil on the back, which is really cool. Him actually playing, whereas the front is from the rookie photo shoot. And I love rookie photo shoot cards, especially the 90s versions. All of that without talking about the value at all. So this one's about a $30 to $40 card. Probably closer to the 35 in a PSA 8. They go up if you're, in a PSA 9 or 10, but the raw copies go for less than this. So, the 90s were famous for having condition issues right out of the pack, and these PSA 8s starting off the list do show that. So that is number 9. Number 8 we've got, and we're going to talk about multiple copies, but one specific one here is the 97-98 Topps Chrome. This is a base card in an SGC 8.5 or 8.5. And like I said, there are multiple copies, so I've got a couple of raw copies, and I also have a PSA 8. Surprisingly enough, I thought the PSA 8 would be worth more than the SGC 8.5. That was not the case. So the last time that I did this list, I had only raw copies in my collection, and a raw copy of this card at that point in time was going for about $200. The Kobe Mania was flying high, and it was, I think, number 4 or 5 on my list, if I remember correctly. Today, that same raw copy is about a $30 card. Depends on the greening. I've got a copy that's got a little bit less green than this one, but this SGC, 8.5 right now comes in right around $40. So the 8.5 brings it up a little bit. The PSA 8 is right around $35. So again, you're kind of climbing the ladder by increments of $5 between the raw, the PSA 8, the SGC 8.5. These cards in this set were notorious for having centering issues, and like I said, green is also an issue. It can slightly affect the grade of a card. So you can see here this SGC copy, not perfectly centered, but pretty well centered. Barely any greening, if any at all. So those are gonna definitely be reasons why it can go for more. You can see sometimes cards in the same grade with better centering or less green will go for more. So it's definitely an eye appeal game within the grades. You can even see sometimes though cards that have been in these holders for a long time will green over time. So you might see a PSA 10, and I'm sure see it with the Topps Chrome rookie card. This is his second year card. But a PSA 10 that probably wasn't green or didn't have much greening when it got into the slab now is completely hulked out. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Don't just take the grade at face value. Take a look at it for yourself. Decide how you like the card in its holder and how it presents. So that one is number 8 on the list. All right, number 7 on the list, another personal favorite of mine. We've got the 1997 SPX. This is an XRC of Kobe, so the 96-97 season is going to be his rookie season. This one came out just after the end of that season, but before the 97-98 season started, so it's kind of caught in the middle, so it gets an uptick in value because of that being an XRC of sorts, but, not a true full-on rookie card. The interesting thing with this, the last time that we did this list, this was about a $40 to $45 card. Today it's about a $50 card. So this is one that's been kind of, steady as she goes, which is nice to see. But this is one, I've talked about the set a ton. I talked about it with the golds last week. Just gorgeous. Love all the die cuts. Love the shape. Love the theme. Love the holograms in there. Great picture on the side of him going for a reverse dunk, behind the backboard. Just stuff that later on we were almost numb to because it was so commonplace to see Kobe do so prolific things. But really cool to see it captured on a card so early in his career as well. All right, the next one, number 6 on the list. We've got the 96-97 Topps. This is the base rookie card, flagship. This is just a, really an iconic card of Kobe. Obviously, the Topps Chrome probably, for an iconic card, gets a little bit higher on the ranking list. But anyway, the last time we did this list, this card, raw, was about a $300 card. I think it was number 1 or 2 on the list at the time. Today, this card is about a $50, sometimes closer to $60, depending on the centering and condition. But closer to $50 mark is what I would put on this one raw. So you can see, again, a drastic change in price from, a few years back. But again, it's really an iconic card at this point, and I had found multiple copies in my collection, my childhood collection, that were just sitting there completely raw, and I looked at the best of them, and I graded the best. It got a 9, and I moved that on, and I kept this one. That seemed like it was in a little bit worse shape than that one. So really happy to have it. It's one, again, I don't think I've talked about it yet, but my wife is a big Lakers fan. She became a Lakers fan primarily because of Kobe Bryant. So when I let go of Kobe Bryant cards in my collection, I either have to do it without her knowing or get her okay first. So this is one that I got her okay to keep. If I was going to get rid of the other one, she wanted me to keep this one. So just some fun tie-ins there. Number 5, halfway through the list, here we get the 96-97 Fleer Ultra. This is the gold medallion. So there's a couple different Kobe Bryant rookie cards. This is from Series 2, and this is from the Rookie Encore subset. So this does not get as much as you would see from his true base rookie card, even with the gold medallion. This one you can see is in a PSA 8. So this is nice to see, with that gold foil. It's fun. I really enjoy the Rookie Encore. You may remember I have the Platinum Medallion version for Iverson in my collection, so it's nice to have the Platinum Medallion of Iverson and the gold for Kobe. At least I like having that, having it that way. The gray doesn't really bother me. It's not a plus. It's just the way I got it in my collection is the way it was. So this one in a PSA 8 goes for about $50 to $60. Again, it's not the most prolific of his, but it is a cool one. And again, I love that rookie photo shoot picture. You're gonna see that time and time again in my collection. There's countless Kobe Bryant rookie cards in my collection with rookie photo shoot cards. A lot of them we won't even go over in this video. Some of them are worth $1 or $2. It's just stuff that I really think is cool. It's a nostalgic piece for me, so that's why I preferred this one. I like the colors. I just like the rookie photo shoot and the rookie theming on this rather than the base, and it was not as expensive to get. Alright, the next one in the list is going to be the 2006-2007 Fleer EX, another base card, and you might see the one sticking out behind it. I've got 2 copies, but the PSA 9 is the one making the list this time around. The last time that we did this list, we had the raw copy because I didn't have one graded. I did get this one. I had 2 copies. I got one graded I thought would grade best. It got a 9. Happy with that. The raw copy last time we were talking about this was about a $30, $35, $40 card. Today, that card is about a $40 card, so it hasn't changed all that much. This PSA 9 version of it is about a $60 card. And these are cards sometimes when I bring it to a show, not to sell, not to trade, just to kind of share, gets a lot of eyeballs, especially for a base card. We talked about the 97, 98, but this being in the 2000s, a really cool picture of Kobe. I just love that picture, him in his white uniform. A lot of cool things, but neat and different from stuff that you get in the 90s in their own right. So nice to get one in a PSA 9. These typically did not grade very easily. It's not uncommon to find a 9. It is fairly uncommon to see 8s, but there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in that hollow foil. Can pose some issues with condition. So fun to have gotten a graded copy and see that has done well since the last time that we talked about this stuff. All right, number 3 on the list. We've got the 2003-2004 Fleer Authentics. This is the club box parallel of Kobe. You flip it over on the back, you can see it is numbered to just 100 copies. So there are a few different numbered parallels. This is not the most rare from this offering. It is not the least rare. It's kind of right smack in the middle. So if I remember correctly, the last time that we did this list, this was about a $40 card. Today, I think sales that I've seen are right around $70 on this card. Maybe plus or minus a little bit. So I think that's pretty inexpensive for a Kobe Bryant card during his playing days. It's numbered to 100. We kind of have been desensitized to cards being numbered to 100 in this modern era, the 2010s and beyond. But if we remember, not that long ago, just 100 copies of a card was extraordinarily rare, very hard to track down, and these don't show up terribly often, as you'd expect. So really cool stuff. I really love this from LeBron's rookie year, kind of that crossover. And one of the things I haven't talked much about are Kobe shoes. So this is one of the ones, a lot of 2003 cards of Kobe do show him during his kind of quote unquote shoe free agent year. So he's got a pair of Jordans on in this. You can see a lot of pictures of him in shoes that weren't Adidas and weren't Nike. It was the year between his Adidas contract and before his Nike contract. So cool year for sneakerheads anyway, something that I get interested in. So that's one thing that sucked me in on this card, as well as it being serial numbered. Alright, number 2, we've got the 98-99 UD Ionics Reciprocal. This one is numbered to 750 copies. Same story here with the serial numbering at the time. This was very rare, and today it's not seen as quite such a commodity, but it's not the easiest card to track down. Condition can be an issue on this card, so this one is about $75 to $80 currently, last I saw. But they don't sell terribly often. And like I said, condition can be an issue, so take a look on the edges. We talked about it a little bit last week if you saw that video. Delaminating is the issue on these for condition. So really cool refractor finish, kind of Upper Deck's response to chromium cards and refractor finishes. So they added a serial number to it, really cool. And the reciprocal theme, they had the picture from the back move to the front on this one, and then the picture on the back is the one that normally is on the front on the base card. So that's number 2. Before we get into number 1, a couple of honorable mentions. The first one we're going to have here is the 0708. This is the Artifacts Divisional Jersey patch. So you can see a nice 3-color patch there. You may be able to see it is numbered to 29 copies. The reason this is an honorable mention and not on my list outright is because this is my brother's card. So it's one that he pulled out of a pack. He loved the Artifact set. He bought multiple boxes, and this is a great one that he pulled. So he lent it to me to show off on this video. The same, we've done it before. He's had it for years and years. Just a gorgeous 3-color patch. You can't get better than 3 colors for a Lakers patch. You can see him there in his 24 jersey. Just a really cool card, beautiful. And again, if it was my card, it would be on the list. I think that these cards sell for right around $120 to $150, if I'm not mistaken. You can drop down in the comments if you have more recent data. But, I think that is a steal for such a nice patch of Kobe, and, a true patch, not a jersey, not a napkin. Even on that small jersey window, you've got, a lot sandwiched in there. The other honorable mention is the 06-07 Fleer Team Leaders. This is the glossy or the gold parallel. So an interesting thing here, really hard to pinpoint a value. I can't remember the last time I've seen one of these sell, so I'll flash up the sales data from Card Ladder. These are kind of mythical creatures. They don't show up terribly often. They don't sell very often, and we're not really sure how rare they are. So the Team Leaders cards themselves were an insert set that were inserted 1 in every 2 packs, but the gold or the glossy were parallels that for the base set were random inserts in retail rack packs. So we don't know how random they were for the Team Leaders set. You can say it's a super short print, but I remember the last time I saw Jordan sell, it was right around $100 or so, if I remember correctly. Again, I can't remember what the Kobe sells for, but I think that they're pretty inexpensive for how short printed they are. Last I checked on eBay, there's only 1 or 2 of these listed for sale of Kobe. I couldn't find any Jordans listed for sale, and I think I saw 1 LeBron listed for sale. So they don't come up very often. They don't sell very often. I don't think a ton of people know how scarce they are to come by, and I think also some people misidentify or lack thereof and don't realize that it is a parallel of an insert set. So a lot of things that I think a lot of consumer education would do people well to figure out if this is something that they want in their collection. And following that theme, we go to number 1 in the collection. So we've got 97, 98 SP Authentic. This is the Profiles Level 2 or Profiles Gold. So this is another one, again, like I was saying, that I think people misidentify or aren't really familiar with to know what it is. So there are 3 tiers to the Profiles from 97 SPX, or SP Authentic rather. This is the gold one. You can tell it because all of the foil on the card is gold, where it has his name, his position, his number, the branding, and the team name. Those are all using gold foil rather than the base, where they have silver foil on those. The other way to denote it is this one is embossed. So the player is embossed. You can kind of pick that up a little bit better on the back, where you see it's kind of punched out a little bit. So there's some embossing and there's some gold foil, which make this one a pretty rare card. You don't find them too often. It's not impossible. You'll see a few of them sell per year. But they do get misidentified often. You can see them sell for all sorts of players as the base version, which typically, depending on the player, whether it's Kobe or Jordan or Alonzo Mourning or Penny Hardaway, are $10 and less. Whereas these ones are not when they're correctly identified. So the last time I saw a Kobe sell, I think it was about $80 or thereabouts. I've seen them go for as high as like $120 at times. I've seen them go for as low as $50, $60, $70 at times. So they run the gamut. But obviously, if you pick it up for the price of a level 1 or the base level, that's a pretty nice win for your PC. So that's how I stumbled upon this. It was at a card shop. They had it in amongst a bunch of cards. It was listed for a price that I didn't think was what a gold went for, and now it's in my collection, and I'm happy it is. So that's the number 1 card. This was not in my collection the last time. I can't remember what the number 1 card was in the Kobe Bryant collection last time. Maybe it was that Topps rookie. There might have been something else. Actually, I think it was the EX2000 rookie that I had subsequently gotten graded. I think it got a 6 or a 7. So a lot of changes in this list. The prices have changed. A lot of the cards have moved out of my PCs to make room for Penny Hardaway cards in my collection. So we'll see which of these my wife lets me keep or let go of to make room for cards in my collection. But that's what we got for the top 10 at this point in time for my Kobe Bryant PC. Alright, that's what we got for the top 10 Kobe Bryant cards in my PC at this point in time. Things are subject to change as they did in the time from the last time I did this to now. So the next time that we do this, it could look very different. So let me know your thoughts down in the bottom. Anything that surprised you, positive, negative. I'd love to hear your best or your favorite Kobe Bryant card and any memories you have of his incredible and illustrious career. Kobe Bryant was a thrill to watch. Unfortunately, I didn't enjoy him as much as I probably should have. I was more focused on trying to hope that the Orlando Magic would beat the Lakers in the championship, but that didn't happen. So anyway, enough about that. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss any videos in the future. New videos dropping once, sometimes twice a week. We've got looks into my PC, 90s pack openings, occasional collector interviews, grading reveals, occasional show reviews, and so much more. Thanks. We'll talk later.